Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Taiji, where I spent some time with this and I came up with this solution. And I think this is valid, right? We have, this is 5 tiles and this is 5 tiles. So the path across the river works. This is the empty, this is 5 empties, this is 5 empties, and we managed to isolate 5 garbage spaces. Yeah, this should totally work, right? All right, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little embarrassed at how long that took me. I am glad that I did it off camera. I've been looking at this one for like probably close to 10 minutes, but there we go. There we are, and we're headed up this way, which hopefully is the right way. Oh, we finally get to see what's under the mountain. That's something. I don't know what to do with this though. Well, let's see. So this is a 9-space puzzle, right? So immediately we're told a thing that looks impossible, that we have to have 6 lit spaces and 4 unlit spaces. So this has to function as a modifier on the 6, right? It has to be the case that now that I've done this, this is like subtract 2 symbols, right? Because otherwise this is impossible. That said, if I was trying to make this 4 and 4, and I had to include that corner, is that possible to do? Well, hold on, let me press this. Okay, so this stuff doesn't light up red, which makes me think I am understanding that correctly. But how do I make... 4 and 4 is tricky because we have to isolate a space outside of... Yeah. So you have to be included in a group and you negate some number of the symbols in that group. Oh, apologies. One moment here. Okay, sorry. I got a message on Discord and I had to see if it was of critical import. Yeah, how do I make a 4 and a 4 generate an empty space when I need also... Oh, like that. Duh. I was going to say, like, if I have to use this corner, then that's problematic because we're out of corners. But no, in fact, a square has 4 corners. That's one of the main things about a square. All right, so this time 3 and 4, which is just like this. And then 2 and 4, which, let's see here. Yeah, that, because we can just have a 4th shape, a 4th shape up there that does nothing. So if we wall this off entirely, this works, right? Because this 6 is understood to be a 3. Yeah. Okay. Modifier symbols. No big deal. Oh, there's one more button in this thing. Is why it kind of blends in, given that its bottom edge is like aligned with this this post and everything. I don't know. I feel a little silly. Okay, pretty straightforward. So this is going to open up a door into the vertical puzzle area, which is weird. So if we do like this, no, that doesn't quite work. Right, because we need to have these things alternate from the colors of the 6 groups. But this is functional, right? Okay, here, if the 3 groups are adjacent, they're going to have to be this... Wait, isn't it the same? Oh, the color of this thing matters. So now what they want us to do is include the puzzle will break if we try to include the subtractor in the group with the 3 because those symbols aren't the same color. Yeah. And here things can be all kinds of ways, right? Well, hold on. So these are locked into dark state. That's the thing I do need to take note of. So the 4s can't interact with the subtractors at all. So if this is dark... Oh, okay. So I was saying the 4s can't interact with the subtractors at all, because obviously this is 3 tiles already. And if I do that, then we have a 4th tile, and the subtractor is making the number wrong. However, it's also definitely the case that we can't have both of the 3s interact with the subtractors because these 3s are both dark. Well, no, I guess like because we can combine the numbers on the shapes, right? This can be read as a single shape that has a number of 4. But only if we can isolate it, which I can't do because the 4s have to be lit. But like I could do this, right? If we read this as a single shape that has a number of 7. Yeah, that works. And then if this is read as a shape that has a number of 5. Yeah, that's functional. Huh. How is this negative 2 going to get utilized? Okay, that's what I was looking at this. I was like, so does that just completely negate the existence of that figure? And yes, it does. Because otherwise, I don't see a way that this puzzle is solvable, because there's no way to actually build this shape in between the blocks that you have to color in for the yellow dots. Okay, so you can use them to completely annihilate the existence of a figure of their color of the same number, which means this puzzle is already solved? No. Really? Are you sure? Because like that negates that. That negates that. It seems like this puzzle's already solved. Well, is the problem for some reason the colors of these things, even though they are making themselves not exist anymore? No, okay, yes, sorry, I drew that incorrectly. Yes, okay, so even if the numbers on the figures are negated, they still exist for the purpose of color matching. You still can't have 2 shapes of 2 different colors inside of the same block of litness. Okay, so how does this one work? So it's going to be very difficult to isolate any of these. It's going to be very difficult to isolate any of these figures, right? So this is a shape with a size of, or with a number of 2. I guess this works because the negators will wipe out those figures, and then this will just be a shape of 2 that needs to be isolated. Yeah. Okay, here we need to make sure that there are enough negators that are the same color as the lit blocks in the corner, and also in a contiguous shape with them, which means we need to do this thing, right? And now we have every shape here correctly colored, correctly lit, and perfectly negated. And we just keep doing that. Just stuff's got to get matched. Boy, this is kind of roundabout, huh? All right, 9 minus 3 is 6, and 9 minus 3 is 6. Okay. So that's a minus 7, which is really interestingly positioned. So we want to combine these figures, right? We want to do the 3 plus the 9 is the 12, minus 7 is a 5. And then here we have 9 negators. So if I draw this all into a single shape, where are we? Nine negates Plus, there still have to be 4. This doesn't work. Because in the end, we have 4 single colored dots that are inside of a great big large contiguous shape. So if I go, okay. So this shape is live right now. This is 5 lit spaces containing an indicator for a 9 space shape -4. Then if we add this, we're fine. That's legal. If we add this, we're fine. That's legal. Yeah, the shape needs to be 11 spaces with four negations in it. It is currently 7 spaces. But we have to wrap these negators in there somehow. The problem is that as we wrap the negators into it, we're getting... All right, what if we approach this a different way? Like, this is a live shape, this is a live shape. Because I think what we need to do is we need to bleed off some of the negations. There's too damn many of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right now this is 10 minus 4. So this shape is, the number of lit squares is too large for the symbols that it contains. Expanding it to contain more dots, not actually a good idea. But like, okay. Yeah, the puzzle here really is finding a way to satisfy all of the negatives. So like if we use dots to just eat a bunch of them, then what we have left is we want a 4 space shape. Like we kind of want this thing, right? This is good. What if we can maintain that? Okay, so what we do is... No, we can't. The large group has to eat one more of the negations because there's not enough single dots to satisfy them all. Yeah, this is actually like pretty, this is pretty weird and troublesome. So this shape is live right now. Right, this is a 6 lit square shape. And a 10 minus 4, but this doesn't quite work. We have an extra negation on both sides of this shape, and we increase the number of lit tiles in the shape by grabbing them, which is the exact opposite of what we need to happen. I do not understand how this will be doable. Like, there's no version of this where we can satisfy a large enough number of these negators. Okay, hold on. Here's a question. I'm wondering if the negators... I'm wondering if there's some kind of, like, negator negation math that I'm supposed to be being taught by this puzzle. They're negating positive pips in the counting spaces. Also, hold on a second. Am I moving toward a torch here? Is this even the direction of a torch? Because if not, we could maybe puzzle through some of this later. Oh, right. Yeah, this gets me that. This, I guess, is a thing we could mark. Hey, we've almost filled in our map. We're getting so close. This is very strange. This doesn't seem to be super valuable, but I guess let's do this because the other puzzle's giving me a headache. So obviously I want to run a path from the dock here. Like, what if we just connect? This needs to end up being a 2, so we need to do this a little bit differently. So that's a 5. That gives this 2 more spaces. This 3, basically, it has to be like this, right? The 3. Is that the right number of void spaces? 5, 4 plus the 1. Yeah, that totally works. That does make it a little bit easier to move around, at least. Ah, and then they give you a negator puzzle because you have to have... Yeah, you have to have solved some negations to be able to get here. Right, yeah, that's a 5. This is not wholly negated, though. Like, how would you do this? So you could block here. That's a negated shape plus a negated shape plus... Okay, so all of this stuff is totally live. Like, everything except this upper corner is good right now. Do we know what's down here? Have we been on this bit of land? I might want to reverse the way I'm solving this puzzle. How do I make this part work, though? So I could rope in one of the 4s to try to give myself a couple extra spaces to work with. Do something like that. Is that... So we're at 7 total negations here with 13 spaces to work with. This is not 6 tiles. So we're at 3. Okay. So this shape is net 1 tile. Then this zeroes out. So with the 9, a figure containing these symbols should be 10 lit tiles in size, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. And this is appropriately negated. Can we get the area around this small enough without breaking everything? I think the answer is no. Right, like we can dummy out a couple of spaces. Yeah, that's no good. And in any case, these negators will be unsatisfied this way. Yes, this is another one of those things where, like, the real challenge of it is making sure you have enough food for the negation symbols. This is so close. Yeah, how am I going to feed all of these? So in total in this puzzle, there are, 3, 5, 8, 12, 20. I guess I also could have, noticed that it's a 5 by 5 and there are 5 non-negation symbols. So there are 20 negators here. And 25 dots. So it is going to have to be exactly 5 tiles lit, but they also have to be distributed appropriately, which means that the only path that leads down to here leads there like this. So in order to see what's up here, what's down here, we would have to come at it from one of these angles. Right, and you would draw this and then approach from. Yep, okay, I see it. Because we couldn't find a solution to this that wasn't just a straight line through the middle. And that's, okay, the original landmass. And I think up here is where the torch for this area is. So we're leaving some stuff unfinished here, but I am, like, trying to make progress toward whatever's in that gate. There will be lots to do afterward, I'm sure. Ah, but you do have to solve this area. The blue line does run to here eventually. And does this go up to... Yep. There's actually not even that much puzzle left once you access this part, but the blue part is not... the blue part, it turns out, is not optional. Can I get back over there without rearranging these puzzle pieces? I guess once I open the gate underneath the mountain, the answer is yes. It's fine though. The only thing we actually have to change is the top right portion of that puzzle area, and that is not a big deal. And also this, which is just kind of tedious. Okay, so... Oh, I can open the gate now. Wait, is that not... Oh, right, sorry, these have to be paired. Right. I remember how symbols work. Sometimes. So... Something like this. And that's a dark shape. It is, in a funny way, just an inversion of the thing that it intuitively appeared to me to be. Oh, interesting. Am I allowed to enter this puzzle from... Okay, yes, you're allowed to enter the puzzle from anywhere. So what is the... How would you draw this whole thing? Oh, by doing it this way, because this is a valid solution, right? Yeah, it totally is. Okay, this is something wholly different from what I thought it was going to be. Huh. Okay. So wait, if I wanted to go back up, though, is that a thing I'm allowed to do? Okay, you can pick a floor. There are several different floors available. Well, not several, but there are different floors, and the entry on this thing indicates which floor you want. Okay, because like this is really... Is this the last puzzle of this area? Yes, actually, this is the puzzle that lights up the blue cable. So... This is all I got to figure out. Alright, let's reset it. Try again. We have a total of 13 dots. And we have 9 negators. And the negators can section off large portions of the puzzle. But the fact is, we still got to be able to feed the whole situation here. So that shape is going to be, yeah, 8 sizes, eight spaces in size, which is way too big for the amount of negation it contains. But like, all right, so that's legal. For every space I want to add to it, I need to gain a dot. I just don't see how. This is pretty close. It leaves us one negator out of size, right? And this doesn't work because it's one tile too many in the lit shape, right? 10 minus 5, and this is actually it's two too many. But we do need the shape that has the 9 in it to absorb 5 negators without absorbing any of the lit dots in order for it to, in order for all of the negators to be satisfied. No, we don't. Hold on. It's actually fine. Here's the bit I was missing. I was so focused on doing that. It will be fine if I do this, right? Because these... No, we would have to perfectly negate everything about this shape, which we can do if I just light up the ones. Right, because, yeah, now it's 9 negators, and so the size of this shape doesn't matter at all because it doesn't have a number in it anymore. Yep, that's what it is. I was trying really hard to apply a solution to a problem when the actual answer to the puzzle was make the problem not exist. Why solve a thing when you can just unmake it? That's a good puzzle. I like that one a lot, actually. Okay, so now we can actually climb this and light our, presumably our final torch for the opening of the gate, at least. So, how hard is this? That makes a legal shape. So, like, if we do that same thing everywhere, yeah, just tessellate it. Is this the same puzzle? Well, yeah, see, we want to make sure that we're leaving one extra space in the corners, but this combines everything, yeah, into a shape that counts up nicely. And then here with a 6... this is more challenging. How do I... Because there's not enough dots in these shapes to connect them to each other. Well, the answer is there's a bunch of blockers that are not part of the 6 shape, right? Problem is connecting that here. We can connect this. Yeah, that's a 6. That works. Well, this is dramatic. This space down here being lit feels like a red herring. Maybe it's actually a hint. Maybe they're trying to give me something to work with. But I almost feel like I'm being tricked into attempting this thing, right? So we can unite these 5 shapes around the edges for the most part. Like, that doesn't work. It's enough space for all the 5s, but obviously this is problematic. So this is a 6x6 puzzle, right? Yeah. So you have 36 tiles, 24 of which have to be dark, 12 of which have to be light. There is no room for slop here. It has to be exactly... Every single tile is actually part of one of the shapes. But this shape can't be connected to these ones. So yeah, this is 12 lit tiles. How do I lock you off in your own little room? Does this work? This is 6. No, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But this shape cannot lose a light tile or we lose cohesion entirely. So yeah, drawing a box around this is the challenge. So that's 6. 1, 2, 3 gives us 3 more to work with, which is not doable. Can wrap that inward and almost get a closure. Yes, them marking one of the edge spaces as light actually is like hugely complicating. The six shapes don't necessarily have to be united. Like we could do a thing where we specify the edges of the 4 shape by drawing diagonals like this. This extremely doesn't work, but this is the number of lit squares we get. So is there a way to, from here, gain the space we need just through addition and subtraction of tiles? Like just moving the squares in the shape around? And if we're not connected, we have a problem where we are currently distributed 7 and 5 on these 6s, but one solution at a time. That works, right? This is I didn't accidentally gain a square somewhere. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and the white is all one shape, so it doesn't matter. We've got everything sequestered properly. Yeah, okay. So, that is one of these. And also, this room has a 5 in it with shapes and stuff, and I don't really know what to make of that, but it's incredibly conspicuous. Let's take a screenshot. Yeah, it's incredibly conspicuous. Well. Huzzah! And then at this point we can leave this in this configuration for easier access. So I guess we have lots of things that we could do at this point. But let's just go back to the gate and see what happens. Because I think we've lit up enough areas now that center bit is lit. Where am I relative to the... I'm all turned around. Do I need to go this way to get back to the center? Yes, okay. I don't want to declare, like, you know, in my infinite hubris that we are definitely going to solve everything, but we are definitely going to give everything at least a shot. Ah, hell. Here's a problem. This puzzle does not actually let you get through having just solved any X areas you want, because you have to understand what each one of these symbols does. And we don't know how the horizontal lines work yet. Bloody hell. Well, there are places where we can still do stuff. I mean, I really want to understand the lines. The lines seem very important. What if it's like that? It can't be like that. These tiles are we know for a fact that the tiles around these are lit up. Or are not darkened. So, all right, that being the case, maybe we can kind of like brute force our way through things a little bit in terms of what the lines mean. Maybe this can teach us. It's like if we know that this space has to be lit, what can we say about this thing? So there's a solid uninterrupted band of lit tiles across the middle here, which means that the two white diamonds have to be in a shape that is lit up. This probably wants to be dark. So all of that stuff is good. Yeah, but at this point, every one of the symbols on this thing is satisfied except for these ones, and we don't know how to satisfy them. We know that this cannot be indicating anything about its entire row, because it is the case that this tile, is not indicating that this entire row must be in the same state of litness, because this tile must be light and this tile must be dark. Well, maybe that's not true. I was saying, in order for the group of 4 to be dark, but what is this group of 4? Could it be a light group? I guess if the group of 4 was a light group, it would have to be like those two tiles, and then, yeah, either it's this tile and both of these are dark, or it's this tile and then this one has to be dark. So yeah, no matter what, there is a mixture of dark and light in this row. So yeah, we know this symbol doesn't have anything to do with making everything in the row the same shade. Okay, they are still showing us unhappy. Yeah, I just have no idea. I have no idea what they could possibly mean. And we still haven't found anything in this area except this to work with. Which is it's just too much goddamn puzzle. There's too much going on here to deduce anything. I had to be honest with you, I'm finding this one very frustrating. And I've been all around this thing from like every other side. There's no way to there's no way this isn't the first puzzle of the area, right? Because like actually these buttons down here look to me like they're raised. It's hard to tell because this piece of railing is in front of the most critical pixels. But like if those buttons are raised, then that speaks to that area potentially being solvable now. But in order for that to be the case, we can't get down and around that from here, can we? No, this forms a wall. Okay. Gosh, I wish this wasn't caved in. And we can see that there's an area over there to the right. But there's no way. I did reset the pillars, by the way, so the door up there is open. But unfortunately, the puzzles that are through that door require us to know how the damn line symbols work. There's something we can do over here to make traversal a little bit easier, though, right? We can actually solve these now. So if I were to... So these have to be separated from each other. This we have to give this 3 spaces somehow. Like, what if I give it these 3 spaces, right? You need 9. This is only 7. So you need like that much room for, yeah. Yeah, this shape is actually very limiting. So this doesn't... Okay, it's not even going to show us what's wrong. I was just trying to make sure that this was not going to work because of these symbols rejecting, but actually, it's not even showing us what's not functional there. How do I make room for you to not have to be adjacent to that shape, while not cutting off so much space that the purple shape becomes impossible? Because, like, we can get 7 tiles by cutting to either side like this, and then we have to do this, right? And we could flip that so that the open spaces are below the 3 instead. But in either case, spaces from the yellow shape end up adjacent to spaces from the white shape, and there's not a thing we can do about that. Okay, well, is the answer this is going to have to be darkened, so we just have to play all the way around it? Yeah, this is enough tiles. Okay, so yeah, you have a space of a space out here that's cut out of 3, and the secret is that the white shape and the purple shape have to be the same level of litness. Okay, workable. That's a cute one. Okay, this one's a little trickier because now there's too many yellow petals for the number here. So if we leave this dark and we leave that dark, like, does this work? Okay, yeah. These two see each other, and the spaces in the middle as legal. It's a little tricky, the color grouping thing, when you have shapes that have multiple colors inside them. That's where it gets a little unintuitive for me. But a purple shape can be in a setup with any number of... with a symbol that has any amount of purple in it, even if it has other colors as well, right? I think that's what we learned. Okay, so... these 2 shapes are the same level of litness, right? Because they share neighbors that they must not be the same level of litness as. If that's the case, then these must be dark, which means all these spaces around here, only one of them is dark. So we're gonna be filling in a bunch of this. If I do it like this, then the corner spaces are spoken for, but this is a huge problem. Well, we can fill the corner spaces in too. It doesn't actually harm anything. Yeah, okay, that's the same puzzle as below, just represented very differently. That's clever. So my immediate thought is this, but this does not quite work. This shape is not happy. So this needs one more box though. How would I get one more box into this shape? Well, I guess I can light this up and it doesn't actually meaningfully change anything. Oh, right. The yellow shapes have to be satisfied over the other shapes if you're on the edge. I mean, the yellow shapes have to be satisfied over the purple shapes in any case, but it only matters if you're on the edge, because otherwise you have to satisfy them all anyway. Okay. I'm really bummed out that we weren't able to get through the gate, if I'm honest. So you are forced to be dark, you are forced to be dark, which means 2 of the spaces adjacent to you have to be lit. Maybe that's a good idea? And you want 3 of the spaces adjacent to this one to be lit, which lets us block you in. If we light you up, then you're satisfied. Ah, but the problem here is... Well, no, it's not a problem. I can do this, because this is a 3. Is this legal? This shape has its adjacencies. This shape has its adjacencies. So does this one. You're in the right number. You're in the right number. You're in the right number. Yeah, this should be good, right? There are a lot of little interlocking pieces to some of these. Okay, so the purple numbers here do not want to be in shape with this thing. But that's problematic because this thing's adjacent shapes are necessarily going to be the same color that it is. Right? Isn't that a problem? No, these match just... Okay, this reads just fine. Sometimes the color matters across different types of symbols, but not always? I don't love that. So if I make you light... Alright, so here's the problem. This thing's a little tricky, right? We need exactly 2 of the spaces adjacent to it to be its color. So I reshaped this a little bit to make that happen. But if these are both dark, then this must be lit, and there must be 1 space adjacent to it that is lit, which is this, and this is going to cause a problem with the numbers, right? I guess let's make sure. Yeah, okay, so even though that's the correct number of tiles, it's having a bit of a fit because of the fact that there are numbers of different colors in the same shape. So... how do we satisfy all the different parts of this at the same time? Okay. So this thing, all of this thing's neighbors have to be the same color as it is. Which means this being lit is kind of problematic because it would force this to be lit up as well, and it's going to bend everything out of shape. So let's say we leave it like that. This tile is correct right now. If we light this thing down here, we leave these dark, that's all okay. This is 6 tiles, so we just block in the 6 here. I think this is a valid solution. Right, we have an 8 tile display. Adjacencies are met for everything, I believe. Oh no, sorry. This thing needs all of its neighbors to be the same color. This needs exactly one of its neighbors to be its opposite color, right? The yellow and the purple are not interchangeable. It feels in my head like they're indicators of identical precedence, if that makes sense. But no, we must satisfy the yellow part very specifically. So this would have to be lit in this case. And if this is lit, then it disrupts the 6. Can we make the 6 still work? You do that. That gets us a 6. Yeah. Okay. And that has opened a gate for easier traversal. Cool. A really, like a pretty well hidden gate, honestly. Just checking up there to see if there was anything else that was hidden. Okay. There's still one more place that we know we could go and get some puzzles done now that I understand the dots. If I can wind my way back around to the house, which I don't 100% remember the location of. Oh, you know what? I do want to do something here. Just really quickly, let's take a look at this thing. Was that... I'm going to tab out, so the music's going to drop out for a second. Was that tall thing that we saw in the water... Here, let me pull that up. Does it seem like it could have been a legend for this? Actually, it looks like maybe. So it does have a 1, then a blank, then 2, then a blank, then 3. Unfortunately, this is where the top of the obelisk that was poking out of the water is, so... Alright. It's really weird that there was one, but it does not seem to be the answer to this area. It is really weird that there was one, right? Alright, well the house was on the left side of the island somewhere, right? Yes, over here. Okay, so let's try to work these paintings just a little bit maybe. So this is 3 dots and this is 3 dots. Wait, yes, I could light this. How do I do that? There you go. That's a legal arrangement. I can't tell if these are actually doing anything. Okay, so 3 dots, 1 dot, 3 dots, 3 dots, and then also there's a 2 up here in the corner, which we can just hem in like that. Is that not right? Oh, her eyes are single black dots, aren't they? Can I make that work? What if... So these are the eyes. The problem is that lighting this is going to disrupt the 3, but okay, if we do this, it won't. So this is a group that contains most of the white dots in the puzzle, or all of the white dots in the puzzle. Here's 2 black dots, and then here's 2 black dots up here. Yeah. So this puzzle has shapes and petals in it. I knew they looked like petals. They're obviously supposed to be flowers. Oh, and this shape has is a diamonds thing. Although problematic because there are 3 of them. How do we deal with 3 diamonds with no negator? If we understand the number 3, how do you deal with 3 diamonds? There's no other symbols in the puzzle. I actually have no idea. Okay, so this is yellow, yellow. All right, the purples, then a blank, then the yellows, then a blank, then the yellow, then a blank, right? These are all yellows. So this is 1 square, this area right here. This is a single square that contains what looks to be a 16. Or maybe it's supposed to be the negator symbols. No, the negator symbols are arranged like a... they're arranged in the fashion of die pips. If it was 2 negators, they'd be like this, right? This symbol is not super clear. I think it's supposed to be 2 of those 8-cell indicators in a single cell, maybe? Oh, it's weird that resetting the puzzle doesn't remove your marks. And nothing obvious is happening when we finish these anyway. Is stuff lighting up in the little model house? No, it's not doing anything at all. All right, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and call it here for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I am a little bit stumped as to the lines, and I think that's the thing we are going to have to figure out to move forward. Not sure what I'm going to do about that. I'll take a little bit of a look at it and give it a think over the course of the next day. And when you come back next time tomorrow, hopefully I will have some kind of idea of what to do. And we'll see you then.